Oh man, as I'm in the gym and I'm hitting the speed bag, as I hit this speed bag, I started thinking to myself. I said, "Self, is this where we at in the sport of boxing? Y'all had idiot Victor Ortiz. He fixed his mouth to say that Logan Paul is going to give Floyd Mayweather Jr. problems. Why does this not smell like possum piss? Got possum piss written all over it. It do. You know what? And I think Victor Ortiz will be in the man camp. And of course, Logan Paul gonna pay Victor Ortiz. This is all a money grab. Victor Ortiz, I figured either he really stupid or he really just want to make some money. And I got to give him a benefit of the doubt because the man has fought before, but he actually is that stupid. This the same guy that was trying to hug Floyd Mayweather Jr. and got knocked out, and then try to complain about it. Well, protect yourself at all times. I guess he might not be that smart because him being a boxer, you should know. Protect yourself at all times, you darn idiot. Victor Ortiz is stupid, man. Okay, I got to ask you this. If Logan Paul is going to give Floyd Mayweather problems, Victor Ortiz, well, how about this? Was Logan Paul giving you problems in sparring? How you going to explain this? Y'all, I keep telling y'all that this is the fault of nobody but the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing opened up these doorways. See, this is what it is, guys. This is what it's going to be in 2021. Okay? You're going to have these YouTube celebrities that they have followings. And when you look at it, it's actually the perfect thing. You got these YouTube celebrities that's got millions of followers, more than any of these fighters have. And the YouTube celebs, guess what they're going to do? They're going to bring these YouTube fans over to boxing. And these YouTube fans, they're going to start following these guys when they have fights. They'll pay for it. Actually, I think it's a money-making genius. I think it's just it's a work of art, a work of geniusness by these Paul brothers. I don't like them. I can't stand them. Okay, but I do have to observe what they're doing. These guys, they did their homework. Okay, all you do, you call out somebody of notoriety. You call them out, and you be aggressive with it. You be aggressive with it. Like, I tell you what Jake Paul doing, that's a media mastermind. He's a media mastermind. And you know why people like Jake Paul, they got the advantage? Because they're used to making YouTube videos. They're used to doing this. So them, going in and roasting somebody or really getting under somebody's skin, somebody like Jake Paul, he's going to be able to do that at a much, much higher level. He's going to be able to do it. And then he can just take it and post it to his millions of followers. Well, you can imagine what's going to happen. Now, I think somebody gonna whoop his ass though. Like legit, I think somebody gonna pull up on Jake Paul in the street, and I think they gonna whoop his ass. The whole thing he did with Dylan Danis, it was funny, but I started thinking, man, what if Dylan Danis could have actually got his hands on him? Dylan Danis, he may not have the best hands in the sport of MMA, but his body dangerous. His body is a weapon. And if he would have got a hold of Jake Paul, I'm sure he could have choked him out or broke his arm. He'd have done something to him. And that's the thing. But Jake Paul has the right formula. He got the right formula. He's going out there and he's being aggressive with these call-outs. Now, is he calling out top-notch fighters? No, but he's calling out fighters with, I guess, some kind of like star power. He's calling them out. Dylan Danis, that's the biggest idiot in MMA. Okay, so everybody know Dylan Danis. That's Conor McGregor's do-boy. And he did that. Why? Because he wanted to get at Conor McGregor. And who is Conor McGregor? Well, that's probably the most well-known MMA, star on God's green earth. Okay? It is what it is. He's doing what he got to do to make the money. Okay? They're actually showing the sport of boxing what you have to do to get a big fight. And Jake Paul, not only is he actually calling out Conor McGregor, the man pulling up on the man friends. And I'm pretty sure if he knew where Conor McGregor was located, I think Jake Paul would pull up on him and do some old trickery. Do some of the same thing. I think Jake Paul would do that, and it is what it is, okay? This is what the sport of boxing has become because we spent so many years where the best fights are not being made. They're being made so far down the line that when we see these fights, the anticipation for a lot of these fights are gone. But I think this right here, is a big disgrace to the sport of boxing. And, I was kind of hoping that Floyd Mayweather just go ahead and just retire. But see, he's not going to do that because there's all this money that's available to him. All this money. And, Floyd is trying to do what Floyd does. He's trying to make as much money as he can. I mean, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. These young guys, they're not fighting each other in their prime. They ain't doing it. They ain't doing it. And Floyd, they can see it from a mile away. Oh, these guys, Garcia, Spence and all, they ain't finna fight each other. Well, Garcia and Spence, they already did fight. But, we ain't got, Spence and Crawford. Okay, we ain't got Spence and Thurman. See, these are the fights we were calling for early. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. That situation, that thing finna play out. And I'm sitting here like, man, it's almost like it's going in cycles. The sport of boxing is going to do it in cycles. So we'll get the next, couple great superstars in boxing. And then these two guys, they'll be on a collision course and somehow the fight don't happen. Well, this is what we're going to get. More of this in 2021. Yeah, y'all thought that Jake Paul, KSI, Logan Paul, y'all thought these people were done? No. Guess what they finna do? They finna convince some of their YouTube buddies to box. They're going to get some of their YouTube buddies to box. And I'm going to tell you, in 2021, you mark my words, instead of having, 3 YouTubers fighting in a boxing ring, we're going to have about 20. Do you know how many people on YouTube it is that's got 10 million followers or more that are connected with Jake Paul and Logan Paul? I mean, do you guys know that? Do you guys know how many of their YouTube friends got like millions of followers? And guess what they're going to do? They're going to start boxing. Man, oh man, boxing. Whew. But you know what, though? And as much as I brag about the sport of MMA not doing this, I think MMA going to do it too. I guarantee you, the amount of money that's going to be offered for one of these YouTube celebrities to get into an octagon and fight a fighter, I guarantee you that Dana White will probably break down. He'll break down. And the money will just probably be so much that he can't say no. Okay? Because, I mean, Jake Paul put out there, look, I got $50 million. And where do you think he got that from? He stole that method from Deontay Wilder. He stole it from him. Okay? He stole it from him. It is what it is. And see, now we can't use that whole methodology and say, boxing fans, we can't, we shouldn't watch this. Because the YouTube followers of these guys, they're not boxing fans per se. Most of them are not. So he's just going to say, hey, watch my fight. And guess what? Those YouTubers, those people that follow him on YouTube, a lot of them, they're going to buy the fight. Yep, way to go, boxing fans. See, we spent years and years arguing about this fighter. This fighter don't deserve to fight this fighter. This fighter don't make enough money. This fighter's the A side. This fighter's the B side. This fighter don't. We spent all these years doing and arguing about this. And now as boxing fans, we can't even be united. We can't even unite to get these YouTube stars up out of here. We can't. It's too late. It's too late. Okay, this is a money train that's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And before you know it, the sport of boxing, every single major card is going to be headlined by YouTubers. Dang, boxing. Oh, my God.